Hi, this is John DeMarchi, the CEO of Czars, and we're a company that works with brands, businesses, and celebrities to improve their digital reputation. We do an enormous amount of online reputation repair work for brands, businesses, celebrities, CEOs, professional athletes, and the like. And if you are here today, you're probably a very busy person, and you might have a challenge with digital reputation for yourself, for your brand, your business. So let's get right to it, and we'll give you some tips very quickly here in the next 10 minutes about how you can fix a reputation problem quickly and what you can do and some steps you can take to get things back on track in a hurry. Okay, so everybody knows your online reputation is your reputation today. The reason for that is that your online reputation is pretty much what Google says it is. Before you meet somebody, don't you Google them? Almost everybody else on Earth does, and that's how we find things out. And what Google will tell us is what's in the news about you, and do you have a website? Do you have social media? Are there good or bad consumer reviews about your company? Do you have a Wikipedia page, and so on and so forth, right? Google is a trusted way that we use to find out information about people, and if you're not doing well on Google search or bad things are showing up about you in Google search, well, it can cause a lot of problems, right? I mean, a lot of challenges that people that we work with have on Google all the time are bad press articles or adverse press articles, critics, whatever, bad consumer reviews, lawsuits, divorces, the standard haters and trolls sometimes will come and muddy up Google search. And the fact is, for those things, if you've got a Google problem with your name or with your brand, and it's causing you stress and embarrassment, if it's costing you money and clients, don't worry. Okay, this is a great move that you did today to come here. You come to the right place, and you're already, as Ray Donovan says on Showtime on that show, you're already in the solution. Okay, let's talk about Google problems and what causes them. Okay, Google works at a most basic level like this: it fetches and then it ranks. When it goes to fetch content, Google's looking for clues, right? It wants to know, for example, if content is about your name, how does Google know that it's about your name, right? It's going to look for clues. It's going to look for sites that have yourname.com. It's going to look for, and this can be your brand as well, but let's use your name here as an example. It's going to look for clues that are yourname.com or yourname.com/your name doing something, right? Or you're in the URL multiple times. It's going to look for your name on sites with high domain authority that Google treats as authoritative sources for all content, like LinkedIn, like Wikipedia, like Quora, like Reddit. It's going to look for your name on social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, Quora, others, Google Plus, obviously, Tumblr, Pinterest. I said Pinterest, right? But it'll look for your name on obvious places where there might be content about you, like there. It'll look for your name in story headlines. It'll look for your name in body copy of anchor text. So in a story where your name is actually linked to your actual name, Google likes to see that, and it tends to say, oh, this is supposed to be about your name, right? It'll look for your name in body copy if it's not linked, just keywords. And it'll look for your name in tags on websites as well. Google also likes it a lot, and it could be on this list here on the slide, is it likes to see videos that include your name. Google over-indexes video quite a bit. So these are just little tips and tricks, right? Where you say, like, well, how does Google find stuff about me in the first place? This is what it's looking for. Okay, so what's on the web about you right now? This is something that people often don't think about. They don't Google themselves every day, and or as often as they should, and sometimes they don't realize threats until somebody says, hey, I Googled you, and look at what came up. So Google only knows what it can find. And as I said back here, this is the stuff that it's looking for, right? As it goes searching for content about you, your company, your name, or your brand. Okay, and it only knows what it can find, meaning that most people who are out there, especially accomplished people, right? Because they're out doing stuff, right? They're out running companies, they're out doing amazing business work or social work or whatever they're doing, right? They're busy people. That's why they're accomplished people. That's why they're somebodies. And because of that, and because they're out doing, they're not all the time active digital publishers. So what's on the web about them a lot of the time isn't controlled by them. They're not controlling the narrative, right? What's on the web about them is stuff that's been written by other people about them that may or may not be positive. In many cases is not positive, causing a Google problem. And they're not fighting back or controlling it with any of their own well-tagged, well-structured content about themselves on sites that Google likes, on sites Google thinks is on sites Google thinks would be authoritative, and on sites that Google can find, right? So as a result, a lot of people might have an angelic life in the real world, but in social media or digital media, Google may give them a black marks or a negative reputation that may or may not even be deserved simply because the person's not an active digital publisher. Okay, this is an incredibly common problem. We deal with it all the time. I'm going to show you how to fix it. So don't let your reputation be at the mercy of other people, right? Be an active digital publisher. And like I said, in many cases, the online and offline reputations can differ, and that's why they often do. So as I said before, Google cares about two things: fetching, which we just went through, and ranking. So how does Google rank content, right? Let's say it goes out and it looks at the web and now it brings back all this stuff that's about you or your brand or your business. Well, how does it know what to rank first, second, third, fourth, fifth on page 1 or page 2 or whatever? Okay, the things that Google looks at after it figures out, hey, this content is well structured and it's clearly about you, your brand, your business, right? The next thing Google will look at is who else says that this content matters, right? What other trustworthy people are linking to this content on the keywords of your name, your brand, or your business, right? So if it's about you, right, if there are two identical pages about you, and one of those pages has inbound links from really credible sources like Wikipedia or LinkedIn or the New York Times or CNN or, you can come up with many others, right? That page is going to rank better than the page that is identical to it in terms of content, but that does not have those inbound links. Does that make sense? Right? So it's a huge big deal, bluntly, to make sure that you have really quality inbound links to your content that's well structured about you, right? The second thing you got to have is a high number of quality inbound links. And a high number doesn't mean 5 million, but it means more than zero, and it means as many as you can get, right? And particularly if you can get high number of quality inbound links from home pages of other sites with high domain authority. That's a big benefit and helps out a lot. But also a high number of inbound links from influencers in your specific topic area, right? So if you're an economist and you have inbound links from a site with high domain authority is between 1 and 100, right? 100 is a site like I said, like a Wikipedia that Google trusts, that if Wikipedia is linking to this site, that's a trustworthy inbound link, okay? So let's say that you had a site that had a domain authority of, say, 70. That's pretty good, right? But the site's all about flowers and you're an economist. Well, that inbound link isn't going to help you as an economist, right? I mean, it's nice to have, but it's not going to help you in rank for terms that are relevant to you and within your topic area as well. So you got to get quality inbound links. You got to get a high number of them from the right people too, from the right influencers. Number 3, you got to get timely content to rank on Google. Google doesn't like old stuff that much. It definitely prefers new content, all other things being equal. Google's going to look at social signals in terms of how it ranks content, meaning if there's content that people, say 2 identical pages, but on one of them, or 2 identical content pages, but on one of the pages, there have been many likes, comments, shares, and social engagement, whereas on the other page, which is identical in terms of the content on the page and the structure of that content, but it doesn't have the likes, comments, shares, and things like that, Google will push the one that does have the likes, comments, and shares up higher than the one that does not, right? That's social signals that it'll look at. And then the last thing is video. Google really likes video for a lot of reasons, the biggest being that they can run pre-roll in front of video and make more money at a higher CPM than they can against text in many cases. But they like video content a lot, and if you can have well-structured video content about yourself, you can do yourself a big favor. So these are some of the things that Google looks at. After it fetches content, it has to sort it as to what should go first, second, third, fourth on page 1. These are some of the key factors that it helps to get right, to win that game. So that may sound like a ton of work, right? I mean, particularly if you're a busy person. Wow. I mean, how are you going to go out there and create content and create social hubs and make sure that your content is well structured, and then have a strategy to go find influencers and get inbound links, and then also follow this stuff and track it and make sure you're doing the right thing. Sounds busy, right? Here's the good news. Good news is you don't have to go it alone, and you can outsource this to companies that do only this for a living. There are many companies like that. We are one of them. And the clients that we work with, I'll get into in a minute, but the big thing to know up front is that no two online reputation problems or challenges are the same, right? So I gave you kind of an overview in the last 10 minutes here of some of the basic things that people face and why they face them and why those challenges occur. But everybody's challenge is always a little bit different, right? You're going to have different keywords you're competing for. You're going to have different competitors, everything like that. So there's no one size fits all in terms of SEO or reputation management. But it does, this is true in any case, is it does take time and it does take a little bit of budget to solve a reputation problem, right? To create content, to get inbound links, to map the stuff, to really do what needs to be done to fix a problem with Google search. It's not going to happen in a day, and anybody that tells you it's going to get fixed in a day isn't being straight with you. It usually takes, I mean, some things can happen very quickly, but to really solve a big time problem usually takes about 2 to 3 months, and usually takes, some budget to get it done. So online, the one thing that we do know is that no online reputation problem on Google has ever solved itself. Okay, so if you're going through something right now where your reputation is at risk, and it's causing stress or pain or problems, or costing you clients, or just creating anxiety and annoyance, and you want to just get it fixed and you want to just get it solved, you can't just leave it alone. And in fact, if you leave it alone and do nothing, okay, the longer that things rank on page one about you for a long time, the harder it is to get rid of them in, over a longer period of time, because Google will say, oh, these rankings must be pretty good because they keep going up on page one and there's nothing new pushing them out of the way, right? So you really have to be proactive in solving those problems, or they won't get solved. That's just reality, okay? So we have worked historically with celebrities very quietly. We work with professional athletes. We've worked with a bunch of different brands who've had big PR and social media problems that you would know in the news. We've worked with some CEOs who've had social media challenges. We've worked with some big names in the financial community, and we've also worked with a bunch of other companies, people who've had other problems, whether it's been divorces or legal issues or things like that that just have been unpleasant and that have shown up on Google. We haven't seen every problem, okay, but we have seen a lot of them. And I would say comfortably, we've probably seen 95% of the problems that people have on Google, and have worked on problems like that in the past. And just for watching this video today, because you gave us your time, which I appreciate, and hopefully we were able to share some knowledge with you that maybe helped explain a little bit more about why Google ranks things the way it does and what you can do about it. If you want to set up a free and confidential call with us, you can do it right now. It's really easy, and here's how to do it. You just either take the link that's there and paste it in your browser, or just on the description to this video, below the video, that same link is there. You can just click that link, and what it'll do is it'll open up my calendar, my personal calendar, and you can find 15 minutes or 30 minutes that I have available on my calendar, and just schedule a meeting. And I'm happy to get on the phone with you for a couple of minutes there and talk to you about what you're up against. And whether you work with us or not, I'm happy to pass along information that hopefully can be useful to you in helping you, get to a better place with reputation and repair your reputation and get you back on solid footing. And I do it because, again, you spent time watching this video, which I appreciate. Thank you. And I would love to talk to you if that's something of interest. So it's really that easy. Click that link, schedule a quick phone call, and I look forward to talking to some of you. And thanks again for your time today. And remember, if you are going through a reputation problem or challenge, you got people, okay? Just click the link, get in touch, and let's get this solved. Okay? Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.